Hey everybody, welcome to the West Dakota Dad. My name is Cody. This is my podcast where we talk about faith, family, and life. This is episode number 21 with the GOAT. Today we are going to be talking about the GOAT. No, not the four-legged animal with a battering ram for a head. We are going to be talking about the acronym, greatest of all time. See, I feel like today we all strive for knowing who is the greatest of all time in every aspect of life. Who is the greatest singer, dancer, performer, athlete, writer, and so forth. The person I am going to be talking about is someone you may have heard of. Before we get into their success, let's talk about their start. He was a person that was looked at by many as not being qualified for the job at hand. He wasn't the fastest man ever, but over time he would prove that he could cover miles of ground. He was a part of two different teams. The first one was probably feared and hated by many, and when he went to the other team, love and passion filled him. Like most successful people, he had a mentor that would coach him along and show him the ropes. Throughout his career, he would find himself as a mentor. Despite his success when he went from city to city, he wasn't often greeted with welcoming arms. In fact, it was sometimes with scrutiny and hatred. Others accompanied him, were battered and injured in the process, but he kept believing and moved forward, inspiring and influencing many millions of people of all ages. Let's face it, this man had the titles to prove it. More than any other person in the same field of work. This man, by the name of Saul, was at the helm of a group of people that hated what they thought was a movement that echoed after a man of all men was publicly assassinated. Saul personally persecuted these Christians because of their belief in Jesus as the Messiah. It wasn't until Saul was blinded and paid visit to by the very man that was supposed to be dead, Jesus Christ. His heart was transformed and he switched sides and he would become a catalyst for Christianity. Barnabas mentored him as they walked from city to city. In 2 Corinthians 11:23 through 31, he talks about the challenges that he had faced in his missions. As they are servants of Christ, I know I sound like a madman, but I have served him far more. I have worked harder, been put in prison more often, been whipped time without number, faced death again and again. 5 different times the Jewish leaders gave me 39 lashes. 3 times I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. 3 times I was shipwrecked. Once I spent a whole day and night adrift at sea. I have traveled on many long journeys. I have faced danger from rivers and from robbers. I have faced danger from my own people, the Jews, as well as the Gentiles. I have faced danger in cities and in deserts and on the seas. I have faced danger from men who claim to be believers but are not. I have worked hard and long, enduring many sleepless nights. I have been hungry and thirsty. I have often gone without food. I have shivered in the cold without enough clothing to keep me warm. Then besides all this, I have a daily burden of my concern for all the churches. Who is weak without me feeling that weakness? Who is led astray, and I do not burn with anger? If I must boast, I would rather boast about the things that show how weak I am. God, the Father, our Lord Jesus, who is worthy of eternal praise, knows that I am not lying. In 1 Corinthians 15:9, he shows us his humbleness. For I am the least of all the apostles. In fact, I'm not even worthy to be called an apostle after the way I persecuted God's church. Now let's talk about these titles. But they aren't championships, but rather titles of books. This man wrote more books in the New Testament than any other apostle. Galatians, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, Romans, Philemon, Philippians, 1st and 2nd Thessalonians, Ephesians, 1st and 2nd Timothy, and Titus. Even though this man started out as an enemy of Christians, Jesus Christ knew that he could use him for bigger things. So, is this man the greatest apostle of all time? That is for you to decide about the man once known as Saul, but is better known as the Apostle Paul. I hope you guys enjoyed this little trivial type episode. I hope it sparks some interest for you guys to want to learn more about Saul and his mission, and more importantly about the gospel and the person that Jesus picked out to help him promote Christianity to millions of other people and continues on throughout this day. So yeah, I hope it went well. I kind of like doing something like that. I hope it doesn't rub anybody the wrong way. I try to do it in a way that sparks some interest for you guys to also continue to learn a little bit more about Paul. And until next time, I'm the West Dakota Dad. Thanks for listening to the West Dakota Dad podcast. If you like what you heard, please drop a rating, share with your friends, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any content.